hear
Good to
me?
finally be able to chat.
Yeah, yeah. It took a while.
Sure did. What is it you hope to get out of working with me?
Just I want someone who know how to play d.va better than me to get to get some. Sorry.
So, real quick then, the first thing I wanted to talk about, we'll get straight to it. When you start a match, especially in competitive, you don't want to make noise. The enemy team can
Okay.
hear you very easily, and now they have information based on who you are. It's because you were shooting there. That's d.va's cannons are very distinctive and very easy to hear.
Okay.
Okay. So starting up this far forward, this is dangerous because they get to see you a little bit sooner. You lose the element of surprise. Sure, you're going to shoot in your rockets. That's going to do very minimal damage because, well, I mean, that got through pretty well. That's good, I guess. But generally, if they have a Reinhardt or something, they can just block a lot of it. So what I would have done here, if we pause right here. So up on top of this house. So this is a Hanzo right there. If you had stayed right here, so your position right here, you wait until they either come up. A lot of time a Winston will jump up on here, or like that. The Hanzo's up over there. You can get potentially a kill. So what rank are you playing at again?
Gold.
Gold. Okay. So actually, I would say for your rank, and I'm just sort of assuming. I haven't seen any of your gameplay. I'm assuming your general level of play, like how easily it would be, how easy you can get a kill here. Yeah, I would actually have done things probably the way you did them, where you get the easy shots back at their gate and then fly out as quickly as you can. What I would do, I would sit up here, wait until they either come up over here or come up over here, do a whole bunch of damage to whoever the one person is, or if no one comes up, notice how they're either going to come around this side here or they're going to come around this side here. You can drop down onto one of the supports like a Mercy, try and get a pick. Like if you land all of your rockets and some left click and your boost, you maybe get a pick, but you can still get out. So either way, like the way you did it wasn't too bad, and you're right where I would recommend being. So let's keep going here. You always want to be at some sort of high angle like this, not quite where the rest of your team is, but also not too far away to the point where you can't duck for cover and get healed.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like what you're doing right there. So getting slept, sometimes it is just really hard to avoid. You need to have really great reaction timing for it. But that's something that realistically, even at point blank range, should almost never happen. It's a very distinctive sound. If you have good headphones, you can hear when Anna uses her sleep dart. It needs to become reflexive. Like I'm sure you know to block a Reinhardt fire strike, right? Yeah, that's super easy. Now, as you need to really listen for the cue a little bit more for Anna. Yeah, like the cue for Reinhardt is super obvious because he, the big motion with the hammer and the big flaming red fire thing coming at you. But
Yeah.
one thing I'd recommend then, maybe try making a custom game with Anna and have some Anna bots that are running around using sleep dart all the time, and practice matrixing that. Anyways, getting slept is not the worst thing there because they most likely cannot kill you or demech you. So let's just continue here. Yep. So at this point, okay, good. I might have gone a little bit sooner. So as soon as you're about half health, you want to back out because there's burst damage, especially with that Hanzo, where you could be demeched completely. So not bad moving in like that to get the Hanzo. However, when you go in without your abilities up, you put yourself in a position like this where you're going to lose your mech and you aren't able to safely get out. Hanzo or a DPS or a tank, not really a worthwhile trade. If you can get a support, sure. But if you're just going to trade your mech to kill a DPS, that's not a guarantee necessarily that your team's going to be able to pull out of it. It's also very risky being up so far without your mech when you're so close to getting it back too. I can understand if you were not close at all, maybe you want to be a little more aggressive to try and get some shots in. Okay. So right here, I would have tried to position up on some high ground to give yourself a better angle on the enemy. What you did just there, you're okay. You luck out because your Reinhardt was able to hammer them. But flying into the enemy team, I would almost never recommend doing. You never want to fly towards the enemy team when you're not getting a pick. Boost is a very important ability. If you don't have that up, 99% of the time at higher levels, you're going to be demeched. And a lot of the time that you're going to see yourself lose mech, it's because you couldn't fly away. There you go. You block the fire strike. That's great. All right. So yeah, you want to kind of just focus on the Reinhardt. That's completely fine. Personally, I'm not a fan of the just dropping ult in the middle of the fight, especially when things are already going poorly, and they have a Reinhardt because it's too easy for them just to survive.
I think I was trying to get my mech back.
Yeah.
And then Pharah ult.
Okay, good call not going back out there. No need. Okay, let's... Okay, yeah, just consistent damage on barriers, always good. When your Reinhardt goes in, you should go in with him too to help him out. That was good. Your soldier got the mercy. Okay, that wasn't bad. That's actually pretty good. Best way to do that dive combo. Let's go back and look at how you engaged on the Mei up there. So you get up there and okay, I mean it was pretty good. So you generally, I would have started pre-firing like right here. I would have been using my rockets already, or even sooner before you even see the target, because it takes a second for it to channel. So right there, you should have started. You start a little bit later, and that's fine. I mean, you still got the kill. She was low enough health. When you're diving a full health target, though, you want to start sooner with it so that you get all the damage coming up at the same time.
I'm trying to get that habit.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a lot to learn. Nice. That's good. Yeah. I like how you're positioning yourself, kind of being in the front third of your team. So up there with your Reinhardt most of the time. That I don't like. Even if you can get a kill there, you're now... So that's the way you would have played old d.va, where you can just sort of boost into the enemy team, and then you have 4 seconds of Matrix to escape. That's not the way things are anymore. You always want to walk into a fight and either boost to confirm a kill that you know for sure you're going to get. Like you see someone that's low health, sure, boost into them, or someone's off on their own, boost into them. But if you boost into the enemy team or put yourself in front of the enemy team like that, you're going to lose your mech.
So boost just for to confirm kill.
Yeah. When you spawn on... So, quick tip. So when you spawn on this side of the map, real quick, okay, right here. When you spawn over here, it's actually faster to go this way. You can go around and through.
I got on the
there.
other from the other way. Good to know. It's faster on the right, but I got on the left to launch my
yes. Ult. Now there are very good ways to launch ult from the right side, though, which we can talk about later. Ooh, okay, that's nice. That's good. Of all things yet. So now, like, that's a perfect one to boost into. That's exactly what you want to do. When you see someone who's low, that's when you use boost. When you see the enemy team, you don't want to go anywhere near that. You want to play at range until you see a chance. So that was a good chance, and you dealt with it very well. So here, I would not move beyond the Rhine. You want to kind of just hold with your tank. Diving the Junkrat, I can see being okay, but way too dangerous considering the enemy team's already right there. There's no need to try and pick a 1v1 and try and win that fight. You're better off trying to help your team on the point. I mean, there's no need to even be this far forward. One lucky shot from the Mei and you're dead there. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't bad, though. A lot of the time on defense, if you've just won a team fight. So let me back up just a tad here. So this is the end of the previous fight. The fight's basically over at this moment. You guys have just won. There's nothing for you to do. You should be going right over here and jumping off. There's no point staying alive. And you'll get your mech back faster. The way you played it out, you didn't end up getting mech back. Notice you're only around 20% charge. If you had jumped, we can look, even for the next 10 seconds, they're not even attacking you yet. You would have had a chance to be in full mech and maybe hold off the offensive. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next round. Moving with the team is great. Okay, that's what I'd recommend. Yeah, get up on top, get the high ground, start laying in some damage. That's nice. Now, generally, right here, what you've done is you've put yourself right on the front line with your team. Their attention is all looking this way at you, so they're seeing you and they're going to shoot at you. If you go up around the other side over here and put yourself over here, you can shoot down at them as well and force them to turn. So now they're going to look over here and they're looking over here. They're not going to be able to deal with your team or you to their fullest. Generally, that's how you open up space for your team to be able to move. So let's see what happens from this point, though. So you're pushing with your team. This is still not a bad play. So you're... Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is basically what you should be doing. Breaking barrier, just continuously throwing in damage. Yeah, you notice you're low. That's very good. Backing up a little bit so that you can get healed. Just keeping up the damage. Yeah, notice that your Rhine moved in. That's great. So you should be going in as well. Okay. That's good. Now, you've moved off. Wow, your Rhine just did so much work on his own. I mean, as a tank, you and the Reinhardt are the front lines. You gotta move forward with him. If he moves up, you should sort of move with him, help keep him alive, and if you're moving up, he should do as well. But mostly, you'd follow the Rhine. Rhine's gonna lead the battle.
Okay.
Okay, so moving into the second point. Yeah, it requires a lot of coordination on any 2 CP. Like that Reinhardt going in, that's really bad because he's just gonna end up dead, and now you guys have no chance at doing much here. Okay, so whenever you start a fight, having already lost someone, even if you get other picks, they recover much more quickly than you do, and you're gonna have a very hard time getting anything out of it. So what all this whole fight right now and everything is just wasted time. Your goal right now should be to just jump off the map so that you can respawn. Now that's ridiculous that your tracer goes in and does that. However, it doesn't matter because you don't have a team to capitalize on it, and she's dead. You can't do anything because you're just out of mech.
Yeah, in matchmaking, when the team half the team is dead, half the team goes on. I have very doubt if wait alone or go on and hoping something.
Yeah.
I'm my mech.
The best you can do is communicate with your team and try and get them to also regroup and go together. So your Reinhardt having gone straight in again like that really is not helping. So let me just back up just a little bit, see how you could have done this dive attempt a little bit better. So you're starting off at the front here. Okay. Now you're boosting in. You sort of boost in without any clear target. So when you're going in here, what are you aiming for? You just kind of go in. The d.va is not there anymore now. You got the d.va and the Lucio here. You accomplish almost nothing except put yourself in there and let them eat up your mech. What I would have done, so let's go back again and a little bit more. So when you're at the front line here, either continue working on one target so you get a kill, Or let's see, what else do you see? There's a Mercy's over here on the left. Maybe try and take her out. Or you just got to pick something. So I guess you kind of pick the D.va, but she moves through. And then right here, just nothing really good happens. So you always have to go into a fight understanding that you have a goal in mind. And you're not just trying to go somewhere. You want to make something happen. You want to get a pick.
Yeah, sometimes I lost the focus.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. A lot of stuff happens at once. Anyways, whoa, it's okay. Beginning of the next push. Okay, so your whole team's here. This is a good chance to make something happen. So when you hear a Junkrat tire, safest thing to do at most of the time is just going to be to back out. And especially now that your Mercy's dead, this push is kind of worthless. Even though, I mean, they just res, they have all 6. Your Reinhardt is somehow getting kills, but you guys don't have the Mercy. They have all the sustain. Yeah, that kind of ult will almost never get anything. And I know it's to help get your mech back sooner too, but your ultimate is so much more valuable if you use it with a push than to just get your mech back on a 2CP map. Especially considering you guys weren't really winning this fight anyways. You just committed more resources and aren't really getting anything. Yeah, this whole fight here is kind of not all that great. I mean, your team is getting picked more often than you're getting picks. All of this is really wasted time. Yeah. Okay. Next attempt.
In this situation, what could I have done? That I tried to go in when my team went in, but
yeah. So the best thing to do,
something wrong.
The best thing to do, as D.va at any rank, you need to play around your teammates. And because so much of what you can do depends on where your healers are and if they can see you or not, and where your DPS and what your tanks are doing. Because you can't solo kill people so easily. Even if I were to play in this game, and sure, maybe I'm better, I wouldn't be able to just fly in and do whatever I want. D.va's a big target and is very easy to kill. You have to rely on your team to set the front line. So yes, when your Reinhardt goes in, you should follow him in. But really, you should. I would have tried to communicate with the Reinhardt that he should wait a little bit so that people can cover him. Or when he goes in, you boost in alongside and use Matrix to make sure he's safe. But really, your ultimate is so very important. If you can, when Reinhardt charges in, throw your ultimate over the top of the enemy, they're gonna all have to scatter. Your team can then just push in and take the point. And once you're on the point and you're fighting from there, it's so much easier than having to try and break through the front line.
Sure.
All right. Let's see how this goes. So your Reinhardt's already in there and dead. Not ideal. Like you should be waiting at this point to regroup.
Yeah, I think I was trying to charge my ult a bit.
Yeah. You got to realize though that as much as you may be charging your ult, they are also going to charge their ults and their support ultimates. So any damage being done outside of a major team fight is really kind of just a waste. Yeah, not so great there. I mean, there's nothing much you could have done there. I would have gone, instead of backing out this way, you go in, because your Ryan was in there anyways, and you would have been able to continue doing stuff. There was other cover for you. This is good, though. Your team's going off now using ults. So to be an effective D.va at any rank, you aren't just a tank. You need to be doing damage. And you contributed very little to that whole last push. I mean, if we look here, basically from this moment where you move in, you did damage to a sound barrier. a little bit of damage to a few different targets. You're switching focuses way too quickly on stuff. So that's the first one you actually did something to, and she was not a threat at all. You could have waited on her and focused on something else. Your team did all the work there. In fact, if you weren't there, and this isn't good, if you weren't there, your team would have taken the point just fine anyways. So, what you needed to do, and if we look again, so when that ult comes in, instead of running and hiding in the back, so there are two ways that goes. Either you run and hide in the back the way you did, and your team is in there and they all die. You're safe, but your team's dead. What's the point? You all need to reset anyway. You may as well have died anyways to that. So the other way is you all go in. So you're all in here when that ult goes off. You all die, then you reset again. No big deal. Or you go in anyways because your team's already in there doing stuff and you're helping your team.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, you should have been in there a little bit sooner. So this is one instance where you just want to be in the point when your team is already doing things. You want to move yourself in, because for this whole, so from this point on, you're doing very little damage this whole period until basically right here. Now you're finally doing real damage, and your team's already doing their Dragon Blade, and Reinhardt's already doing all the damage. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Next round, defense. Starting up top. I would not have recommended your Mercy start up here too, but that's fine as long as you guys get out.
Yeah, I think she was damage boosting me.
So right there, so this target and missiles, don't try and track with missiles. It's a waste of time, because watch, none of those missiles end up hitting him.
Yeah.
If you tracked with your left click, you would have done consistent damage all the way through. Or if you just continued shooting over here, you would have gotten missile damage in. All right, backing out. Very good. Ooh, that was almost there. A little bit better on your tracking, you would have had that kill. So actually, when you go in on a target like that, so on a Mercy, you don't want to actually hit her with the boop unless it's going to kill her. Because what happens is, she just got knocked away and she's going to escape. If you had gotten close, so if we back this up and look at it one more time. So there's Mercy. You get to here. You stop your boost by canceling with shift. And you just keep shooting at her. She's going to either walk really slowly this way or walk really slowly this way. You kill her. She has Discord on her. She's going to die. Your aim's good enough at least to do that. So that's one thing. When you do this combo with your missiles and left click and shift, the only time you actually want to hit her with shift is when shift and maybe a melee attack will be the finishing blow. So in this case, it wasn't, and you knock her away and she escapes. So there are two major ways to use your boost. I just want to highlight one of them right here. So you are doing absolutely nothing by being up here and just 1v1ing this D.Va. You need to be back with your team that's over on this side. The only acceptable way to use boost all the time is going to be to regroup with your team. So you should have basically turned around and boosted right back over to your team so that you can be there to protect them from, let's say, Hanzo shooting at them. Because what happens if Hanzo Dragon Strikes? Maybe he had his ult or something like that.
Yeah.
If you're with your team, that's super easy to just block. If you're over there 1v1ing a D.Va, you're not doing anything. Yeah, good to notice the Hanzo. He's a dangerous target. If you just let him shoot arrows, he's going to get his ult super quickly. And they have a Bastion. Yep. Yeah, so you didn't react to him quickly enough. As soon as you see a Bastion is one of the biggest counters to D.Va because of how quickly he can melt you, and you only have 2 seconds to block and move away from that. So in this case, let's look at this more closely. So you are about to boost. You boosted to the low ground, right in the front of the enemy team, where you are now going to get shredded and basically have no chance to do anything. What you should have done, I'll go back again, boost to here, or jump down without boosting and then continue shooting over here.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you put yourself on the high ground, you can then, from up here, be able to shoot down at all these targets right there, get in some damage. You'd have your missiles off cooldown, you'd use those. Then from there, you can jump down and play around the cover over here. So if we move forward a little bit, you see there's this cover with this wall. You could use this to also keep doing damage this way while the Bastion can't see you. And yes, you had a question?
Going in as I did, I think I did it to follow the Reiner and the Mercy to be able to help them and protect them.
Well, in this case, so yeah, so going with your team, that's not bad either. But the way you do this, you are now in your Reinhardt shield is back over here, not able to give you cover for anything. Which is why, I mean, I don't know why your Mercy flew in like that. Yeah. You never want to play in a team fight like that. You never want to play in front of your Reinhardt shield. So yeah, you could. What you did was at least legitimate to begin with, but you played it wrong by being out too far in front.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, so let's see how your team regroups here. Wow, your Zenyatta got. Wow, that's huge. I mean, that's probably going to be why you guys are able to take it here. Your Zenyatta getting those picks, because now they have much longer respawns, and you guys still have your Mercy. Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. Getting that pick. I mean, this is all you really should be doing here. Good job prioritizing the Mercy, and they didn't even get back on. Okay, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, you weren't really having a huge impact.